know.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Vincent Kay from Swords into Plowshares Honey. It's July 1st, 2023 at about 8 in the morning. We pulled into one of our large bee yards here in Woodbridge, Connecticut. Approximately 50 hives here. And we found this large swarm in the tree adjacent to the hive. So obviously one of the hives swarmed yesterday, and it's a massive swarm. It's as big as I've ever seen, I think, and we're not sure this is going to work, but we're going to try to put it into another hive and bring it to another bee yard and save the bees from wherever they're probably going to make a mistake and end up. So what I'm planning on doing, and again, we may have to do this more than once, no guarantee on the first shot, but we're going to take and try to clunk that massive swarm, which probably weighs 20 or 30 pounds, into a bushel basket. We're not even sure it's going to fit in a bushel basket entirely, but then we're going to take, and I don't know if you can see this, John, we've got a hive on the tailgate of my truck, and we've got all the frames out of it. We're going to try to dump the bees into the hive, and the key is going to be if we get the queen in the box, the others will follow, and then we'll put the hive on a stand and let it calm down, and hopefully all will be well. I'm just not even sure if I'm going to be able to hold the weight of it, John. It's just so big. In any event, these things happen. Beekeepers try to prevent swarming, because when you lose your bees, you lose your honey crop. And we're sort of in the middle of harvesting honey and doing things, but it's probably a product of the humid weather and the heat that we've been having and the drought. But these things happen, and we'll try to make the best of it and save a good chunk of bees here and give them a new home.
All right.
We've had a slight change of plans. We're going to give this a go, trying to catch this swarm here, this massive swarm. But instead of knocking it into a bushel basket and then dumping the bees into the hive, I think we're going to try to get them with one fell swoop right into the hive. So there'll be a time when the video will stop, because John, my assistant beekeeper here, John Gradzik, is going to have to move the hive onto stand and then put the frames into the hive. So that's what we'll be doing, and hopefully we're successful, and we'll resume the video moments after that. By the way, we've got two wonderful dogs that are in the truck, and all the windows on the truck are up. So the air conditioning is on, so they're very safe. Okay, we're going to give it a go here. We're going to see whether this branch is going to hold, and we're going to dump them right into the hive. We're going to shake the branch once I get a hold on it, and we're going to pull down on the branch, and good, John. Get it over there. Yeah, I'm going to hand you frames, okay? Get these on the outsides. Yeah, I got stung a couple times. Yeah. Easy does it on putting them in, okay? All right, well, as you can see, we clunked the bees into the box, into the hive, empty hive, and then we put the frames in it, which hardly fit because there were so many bees. The bees came up to probably about the handholds here, which is 7/8 of the volume of the inside of the hive. They're in there, so the majority of them are in there. We've got, as you can see, a cluster on the ground. We're not sure where the queen is, but we will find out probably within an hour or so. The bees on the front of the hive are fanning the pheromones of communication. So we think the queen is in the box. Now we'll be watching to see whether the bees on the ground go into the box or to the front entrance, which is here, this slot, or if they go up to the clusters that are still on the branch. Those reformed after I shook the cluster of bees into the box, but they don't look happy. So I think the queen is not there with them, and I think those clusters will come down and join the hive. As you can see, we also have, John, some bees on the tailgate of the truck, and we're waiting for those bees now to decide what they're going to do, whether the queen is there, in which case we don't want to disturb them, because we can see if the queen is on the tailgate, we'll sort of grab her and bring her over here and put her in the hive. But we want those bees to come back and join the hive here, and in an hour or so, hopefully, it'll be a happy home for the new bees, which hardly fit in the box. I'll tell you, that's one of the biggest swarms I've ever seen, and that's been the kind of year we've been having. Our bees look fantastic. The honey crop is fantastic. Their hives are healthy, and so this is the result. You get massive swarms the later you go into the season, because these were the bees that were foraging, and you know, the queen was laying eggs for months now. So but yeah, 20 to 30 pounds of bees is a lot of bees. So anyhow, thanks for listening, and we'll report in our next little segment in about an hour. We'll come back and either give it another try, or hopefully toast with a glass of orange juice at this hour, without the vodka, and celebrate the hiving of a very large swarm. You ready?
Yep.
We're here, and as you can see, we've got a lot of bees in the hive. Actually, the cluster of bees that ended up falling on the ground here, we were standing around talking and watching it, and all of a sudden they said, "There she is, the queen." And John didn't have his gloves on, immediately went to his knees and grabbed her with his bare hands, gently, and put her in the hive here. So she's in the hive. The bees are happy that are in the hive. Sometimes with swarms that are that large, you have more than one queen that's hatched out and that joins the fray as they're leaving. And so what we're wondering is, these bees on the ground will definitely rejoin. The bees in the hive will definitely stay. So we have captured 80% of the swarm. However, as you can see, we have another cluster and yet another cluster. So we have two additional clusters. We're wondering, and we can't make a decision. The bees have to sort it out. But we'll come back tomorrow or later this evening and check to see if there is a secondary queen that went out with the swarm. In which case we'll bring in some more equipment and we'll capture these swarms and put them in a hive and take them to a new bee yard, as we will this one. And we'll give them some food, some sugar syrup, just to make sure they have enough while they're building the comb and kind of getting used to their new home. And treat for mites, and this will become a very productive hive probably in the next couple of months, but won't have honey box on until next year. But it's an awful lot of bees, and I'm glad that we are successful in at least capturing a very high percentage of them. And the jury's still out here. I'm not sure whether these bees, they look a little agitated, like they don't have a queen. My suspicion is that everyone will rejoin this hive, but we'll let you know. So we'll keep the video going, and we'll update it tomorrow. All right. Thank you for listening, and it's always one of the wonders of the universe to watch a swarm leave a hive and nature reproducing itself, and it's just a great thing to watch. And I wish I actually saw the swarm leaving, because it must have been a massive flight in the air, which is always something amazing. So anyhow, it's all good. This is why we keep bees. Thanks. Bye-bye. Look at how quickly, John.